Raise your hand if you think reality TV is real. Guys, raise your hand. Don't be shy. No. Okay. A lot of you guys don't think it's real. Some of you guys do. Some guys look unsure. Okay? And that's okay. I grew up on a reality TV show called Dance Moms. Maybe some of you guys have heard of it. And throughout the years, I always get this question asked. It actually might be the most frequently asked question. Is Dance Moms real? And my answer has remained the same throughout all of these years. Yes, it is. But the truth isn't always told. Now, I know you guys might be thinking, well, if it's real, how can it not tell the truth? Don't they kind of contradict each other? Well, let me explain. What I'm talking about is what I call truth versus perception. And there's a disconnect between the two. And I have some examples to show you what I mean. On Dance Moms, we had a segment called Pyramid. And if you're unfamiliar, Pyramid was a segment where the dancers, me, our mothers, our dance teacher would stand in the dance studio and talk about the previous week, what we can work on, where we're going this week, what dances we're doing. And in between all of that, there would also be fighting, yelling, people looked annoyed, all just for 40 to 60 seconds in this segment, right? That would be the perception, the viewer's perception of Pyramid. But in reality, the truth is that Pyramid actually lasted 3 hours. That's a lot of content in 3 hours. And we're not just talking about the dance. We're standing up straight, barefoot. Our backs are hurting, our legs are hurting, so we are annoyed. There's not many breaks. People are fighting. People are annoyed, upset. So you're just standing there feeling very drained. So there's a lot of moments that they can cut to. It's not just all escalating at once in those 60 seconds. Usually there's more that goes into that. The next thing I want to talk about are the routines. Dance Moms is definitely known for our dances. And if you watch, you know that sometimes things happen during our dances, like someone falls, or someone forgets the choreography, or there's a wardrobe malfunction. And here's the thing, that is all very true, it's real, it happened, but the twist is, we performed our dances twice, We weren't actors, so no one purposely didn't do the dance or forgot it, And when we performed our dances, the first time at the competition would be for the judges. They would actually score the dance we perform. And then we do the dance again, we perform it, but the judges would leave the room, and this was just for camera purposes so that they could get all the angles. Now, if you've ever been in entertainment or in live theater, you know that no two performances are the same. So sometimes the first time would be better than the second, vice versa. And here's the thing. If the second performance, there happened to be a wardrobe malfunction, someone slipped and fell, someone forgot the dance, they would most likely use the clips from that performance, even though that wasn't the actual performance, that was for scoring. And that's happened to me quite a few times, which maybe I'm a little salty about, but it's okay. Next, I want to talk about the hours we filmed. So, Dance Moms, the perception of it, it's a 42-minute episode. Things escalate quickly, kind of like Pyramid. Reality, we film 40 to 60 hours a week. Could you imagine a camera following you around for 60 hours a week? Do you think you would always be on your best game? No. There's going to be moments where you're not looking too good, or you say something that you probably shouldn't have said, and this is all compilated into an episode for 42 minutes. So when things seem like they escalated really quickly, usually there's a lot more that goes into it. So now that I gave you guys some examples, I think we can all agree that it's not real, it's just produced, edited, misconstrued, taken out of context, manipulated. So I want to give you guys some tools so that you guys can search for the truth when watching reality TV. I'm giving you guys a cheat code. So, the first thing, ask questions. We have to start being active when we're watching TV, specifically reality TV. We want to be receptive. The questions I want you guys to ask, question your bias. Think about, where is my gaze drawn to? Another thing, context clues. This one is probably my favorite one because it's pretty obvious. Sometimes on Dance Moms, in a scene, if you're watching, a person will be switching clothes. They won't be wearing the same clothes in different clips. And if you're just watching at first glance, if you're not really actively paying attention, it's going to fly over your head. But if you just spend a little bit more time, spend a little more time on the attention to details, you're going to see it. And it's very obvious that it's taken from different clips. Next, I want us to think about the voices that you're hearing the most, because those voices have the most power. I mean, when you hear something for long enough, you start to believe it. So, who's talking? What are they saying? Are they repeating what they're saying a lot? Who aren't we hearing from? Whose stories aren't being told? These are examples of media literacy skills. And some of you might be wondering why we should care about media literacy. I want you guys to pay attention to media literacy so that you can think independently and critically, so that you can make your own informed decisions. You don't want to be swayed easily, am I right? I think some people might even argue that reality TV isn't that deep. But here's the thing. It absolutely is. And let me tell you why. Reality TV has power. And not only does it have power, it has impact on our society. And it is also a form of media. I'm going to use Dance Moms as an example again. So when we think about Dance Moms, it is a pop culture phenomenon. I mean, it is on not just nationally, but globally. It's on over 120 different countries. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where I travel to. People know what Dance Moms is. Another thing, Dance Moms has influenced interest in dance and arts in general, which I personally love seeing. And another thing, Dance Moms has also influenced language. And I know you guys might be saying, well, language, isn't that a little too far? But no, I'm talking about sound bites. Think about how many sound bites and quotes are taken from Dance Moms and used for different things on social media, even just in everyday life as phrases. I mean, I feel like if I said, empty shirt to a solo, or get your finger out of my face, you guys are going to know what that is. See, you guys know. I also want to talk about Dance Moms and how it's connected to technology. Dance Moms has intersected the arts, tech, even digital creation. With over 16 billion hashtags on TikTok alone, just for Dance Moms, which absolutely boosts the algorithms. It also has influenced digital careers. So many creators have come from Dance Moms, including me, and they've gotten their start from it, and now have these huge platforms. Next, I want to even talk about streaming. Dance Moms is on several different streaming platforms, and it even has its own channel where it plays Dance Moms all day, every day, which generates revenue. And Dance Moms has been on for almost 10 years. It is almost like 15 years old now, and it's still making money, which brings me to my next point, how Dance Moms has influenced the economy. There's qualitative data. It exists. And in industry literature, it cites that there was an explosion of dance events from 2011 to 2017. Does anyone know what happened between 2011 and 2017? Dance Moms was airing. It was filmed. So it's directly influenced competitions, there's way more now. It's even influenced the dance competition schedule. I mean, before Dance Mom started, you would only go to a few dance competitions a year, usually in the spring. But now, because on Dance Moms, we would go to different dance competitions every single week. Dance competitions are happening all year long. I also want to go back to my point about content creation, how Dance Moms has influenced that. Well, if you look at the Forbes list nowadays, there are creators that are making multi-million dollar careers off of dancing online. So yes, Dance Moms has had an impact on all of these things. So I want us not to dismiss reality TV and just sum it up as a guilty pleasure or fluff, because it is so much more than that. And as someone who grew up on a reality TV show, I've seen the influence and the power it's had on our society. And that's why I want to give you guys some tools so that you can search for the truth while watching reality TV, because at the end of the day, it's media, and we should treat it as such. So, I want to leave you guys with this question again. Do you think reality TV is real? Well, I think you guys should be able to answer that for yourselves now. Thank you.